Scene script. Have you ever wondered, could Tupac Shakur still be alive today? Let's dive into one of the greatest mysteries that continues to baffle the world of hip-hop and beyond. The sudden and tragic demise of Tupac Shakur, a force of nature whose influence on the music scene is felt even today. An artist, a poet, a revolutionary, Tupac was a man who wore many hats, and he wore them with unparalleled style. Tupac's life, much like his lyrics, was a complex tapestry of struggle and triumph, of passion and pain. He was a beacon for those who felt unheard, a voice for the voiceless. His music transcended the boundaries of hip-hop, reaching hearts and minds across the globe. Yet it was this very influence, this very power, that made his untimely departure even more shocking and hard to accept. On September 7, 1996, the world of hip-hop was dealt a devastating blow. Tupac Shakur, at the height of his career, was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. The news spread like wildfire, leaving fans and fellow artists alike in a state of disbelief. The man who had become a symbol of resilience and defiance was no more. But let's rewind a bit. That fateful night, Tupac attended a Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand. Post-match, a brawl broke out in the hotel lobby involving Tupac and his entourage. Later that evening, while cruising down the Las Vegas Strip, a white Cadillac pulled up alongside Tupac's BMW and opened fire. Tupac was hit multiple times and was rushed to the hospital, where he fought for his life for 6 days before succumbing to his injuries. The world mourned. The hip-hop community lost one of its brightest stars. The streets of California, New York, and beyond were filled with tributes to the fallen icon. His music played on repeat across radio stations, a poignant reminder of what had been lost. But what if I told you not everyone believes Tupac Shakur really died that night? Let's rewind to the night of September 7, 1996. It was a night of glitz and glamour in Las Vegas. The city was buzzing with energy and anticipation. The reason? A heavyweight boxing match between Mike Tyson and Bruce Seldon. But the spotlight of the night wasn't solely on the boxing ring. A star was in attendance, one who commanded an aura that was hard to ignore. Tupac Shakur, a name synonymous with the golden era of hip-hop. As the night progressed, Tupac, accompanied by a group of friends including Suge Knight, CEO of Death Row Records, was seen enjoying the fight. The energy was electric, the atmosphere intoxicating. But little did anyone know the night was about to take a dramatic turn. Following the fight, a scuffle broke out in the lobby of the MGM Grand Hotel. Tupac was seen in the midst of it, throwing punches. The details were murky, the reasons unclear. However, what is known is that the altercation involved Orlando Anderson, a member of the rival gang, the Southside Crips. After the brawl, Tupac and his entourage left the hotel, choosing to cruise the bright, vibrant streets of Las Vegas in a black BMW driven by none other than Suge Knight. As they stopped at a red light at the intersection of Flamingo Road and Koval Lane, a white Cadillac pulled up alongside them. In the blink of an eye, a hail of bullets was unleashed. Tupac in the passenger seat was hit multiple times. The world was shocked. The charismatic, controversial rapper, the poet of the streets, was gunned down in his prime. Initially, it seemed like a straightforward case of gang violence, a retaliation for the earlier altercation with Anderson, but as the dust settled, inconsistencies started to emerge. The plot thickened. The case of Tupac's murder became a web of mysteries, a labyrinth of unanswered questions. It seemed like a straightforward case of gang violence, but inconsistencies started to emerge. The official story has some holes, and they're big enough to drive a conspiracy theory through. Now let's talk about these holes, these glaring inconsistencies that have left fans worldwide scratching their heads. Firstly, let's consider the curious case of the missing CCTV footage. Las Vegas, a city that's known for its watchful eyes. Casinos have cameras everywhere. But strangely, on that fateful night of September 7, 1996, the surveillance footage from the intersection where the shooting took place is nowhere to be found. A coincidence? Maybe, but it's a bit too convenient, don't you think? Then there's the issue of Tupac's bodyguards, or rather, the lack thereof. Tupac was a high-profile figure, a global superstar. It's standard procedure for people of his stature to be surrounded by security personnel, but on that night, Tupac's bodyguards were conspicuously absent. Now, why would a man who had been receiving death threats and had survived a shooting just 2 years earlier be traveling without any security? And let's not forget about the suspicious behavior of Tupac's entourage after the shooting. Instead of staying put and cooperating with the police, they chose to leave the crime scene. This raises some serious red flags. Why would they leave their friend in a dire situation? Why the rush to leave before the police could question them? The official narrative, as we know it, is riddled with these unanswered questions. Each inconsistency, each unexplained event just adds fuel to the fire of speculation. The absence of concrete evidence and the presence of these anomalies have caused many to question the authenticity of the narrative. These anomalies have led some to believe that Tupac Shakur faked his own death. Could it be possible? Could one of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time have pulled off the greatest disappearing act in history? But that, my friends, is a story for another time. Tupac Shakur, the Elvis of hip-hop, alive and well? This question has been the crux of one of the most enduring conspiracy theories of our time. The theory that Tupac Shakur, one of the greatest rappers and hip-hop artists who was tragically gunned down in 1996, is actually still alive. This theory, as outlandish as it may seem, is fueled by a series of supposed sightings, cryptic lyrics in his posthumous releases, and the peculiar numerological significance of the number 7 in Tupac's life and death. Let's start with the sightings. Over the years, there have been numerous reports of people claiming to have seen Tupac alive. From Cuba to New Zealand, these sightings have spanned the globe, with individuals swearing they've seen Tupac alive and well, living in secrecy. Next, we delve into the cryptic lyrics. Many of Tupac's posthumous releases contain lyrics that fans believe hint at his fake death. For example, in his song Ain't Hard to Find, Tupac raps, "I heard rumors I died, murdered in cold blood, traumatized pictures of me in my final states. You know mama cried, but that was fiction, some coward got the story twisted." Fans argue that these lyrics suggest Tupac knew rumors of his death would circulate. Finally, the number 7. This number seems to hold significant relevance in Tupac's life and supposed death. Tupac was shot on September 7th, died 7 days later, and was 25 at the time of his death. 2 + 5 = 7. The 7-day theory is a popular element of the Tupac conspiracy, suggesting that the number 7's symbolic significance in various cultures and religions may have played a role in Tupac's alleged staged death. But despite these clues, the evidence remains circumstantial. Whether Tupac Shakur, the Elvis of hip-hop, is alive or not continues to be a mystery. For now, all we can do is appreciate the indelible mark he left on the music world and continue to examine the clues he left behind. So, is Tupac Shakur really alive, hiding in plain sight? This question has thrilled and chilled many over the years, igniting countless debates and fueling an endless stream of conspiracy theories. Let's weigh the evidence. On the one hand, we have the believers, those who point to supposed sightings, cryptic lyrics, and the lack of a public funeral as proof that Tupac is still with us. They argue that he faked his own death to escape the dangerous world of fame, or perhaps to make a grand statement about the fragility of life. To them, Tupac's death is a grand illusion, a disappearing act worthy of Houdini himself. On the other hand, we have the skeptics. They highlight the improbability of such a large-scale deception. Could Tupac, one of the most famous and scrutinized figures of his time, really vanish without a trace? Could he truly orchestrate such a monumental hoax without anyone spilling the beans? The skeptics argue that Tupac's death was all too real, a tragic end to a life cut short by violence. Then there are those who point to the emotional toll such a theory can have on Tupac's loved ones. Imagine losing someone you care about, only to have their death questioned and dissected by strangers. Imagine the pain of seeing your loved one's memory distorted into a sensationalist tale of deception and intrigue. This, they argue, is the real tragedy of the Tupac conspiracy theory. As we delve into this labyrinth of speculation and doubt, we're left with more questions than answers. Despite the tantalizing hints and cryptic clues, there's no concrete proof that Tupac is still alive. No definitive evidence to quash the rumors once and for all. In the end, the truth about Tupac Shakur's death may remain a mystery, a testament to his enduring legacy and the power of his art. Whether he's still with us or not, one thing is certain: Tupac Shakur, the Elvis of hip-hop, will forever remain an enigma, a legend whose story continues to captivate us all.